Roxo Media House.
From the Flying T Club studios here at Roxo Media House, this is Frogs Today. All TCU fall sports were in action this week and into the weekend with football, volleyball, women's golf, and triathlon kicking off their seasons this Labor Day weekend. Sonny Dykes' TCU football team kicks off tonight on a nationally televised Friday Night Lights airing at 9:30 p.m. Fort Worth time in Palo Alto, California at Stanford Stadium, taking on the Cardinals. What did prep week look like, and what do we know about Stanford? Women's golf is right down the Pacific coastline on the Monterey Peninsula at historic Pebble Beach, and Coach Angie Larkin-Rivoli and company previews the most prestigious regular season event in women's college golf, the Cardinal Cup. Volleyball is in action today at 4:30 p.m. in Lincoln, Nebraska at the Meritas Player Challenge, opening the event against Oklahoma before taking on number 2 Nebraska in the featured match tomorrow. Triathlon, in only its second season of varsity competition, prepares to open their season in Spearfish, South Dakota at the Southern Hills Triathlon race, hosted by Black Hills State. The team doubled in size after its inaugural season last year. Horned Frog Cross Country is at home hosting the second annual John McKenzie Invitational on Saturday, held at AP Ranch here in Fort Worth. Number 13th ranked women's soccer team is 3-1 on the season after their win last night over Central Michigan and take on SMU in Dallas on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. It's Friday, August 30th, and I'm your host, Trey Newmann, pitcher with the TCU baseball team, and excited to host this week's episode of Frogs Today with all our fall sports playing this week and into the weekend.
I'm Cramer with TCU baseball as well. As my teammate Trey here has transferred here from Cal, I am coming from Washington State. Women's soccer were back home last night, setting the tone for TCU athletics with a win over Central Michigan. And we have that recap from our very own Frogs Today reporter, Ray Cartwright.
At 13-2, a college football playoff national championship berth 2 seasons ago, dropping to 5-7 overall last year, Sonny Dykes and his Carter boys look to get rid of that bad pace from last year on the road to tonight at 9:30 p.m. with a win over Stanford. Frogs Today is on location in Palo Alto to bring you pre- and post-game sound, as well as catching up with the TCU Global brand at the TCU Alumni Tailgate.
Jason Williams' Frog volleyball team serves it up later this afternoon against Oklahoma, and then tomorrow again against number 2 ranked Nebraska in the event's featured match at 7:30 p.m. We got that preview for you later in the show.
Women's golf just teed off to open their season at the Cardinal Cup at the Pebble Beach Golf Links. The invite-only event featured just 8 teams from the Big 12 and SEC today through Sunday. Frogs Today is also on location with the ladies and will bring you all those sights and sounds as well from the Pacific coastline.
We were able to see just what makes the TCU Triathlon team so successful in just their second season as a varsity sport here at TCU. They finished 6th at Nationals last year and are on the road to open their season tomorrow in South Dakota.
TCU track and field and cross country director Kadivas Robinson talks about the upcoming year and how cross country is trending in the right direction as they host the second annual John McKenzie Invitational, looking to build off their second place finish last season. The event is held at the AP Ranch in Fort Worth.
Follow us on X and Instagram at Frogs Today and online at frogstoday.com. Stay right there. We have all the news and previews on all of our fall sports on the other side of the screen.
You know, we wouldn't be able to do the things we were able to do this year without the Flying T Club. So we got to continue to get people involved. It's more important right now than it's ever been.
Flying T is special. It's the best thing that I've encountered in college. It allows us to be able to offset a lot of the costs that our scholarships aren't able to cover. If people like winning, invest in the Flying T Club and NIL. This is really great for athletes and just for future students who want to come here and be a part of something special, and I just think it's great.
It just means a lot to us players to see all the sport, and it's huge.
Welcome back into the Flying T Club studio. I'm your host, Trey Newmann with TCU Baseball. Football is finally back, and tonight marks the start of Sonny Dykes' 3rd season at TCU. The Horned Frogs were 13-2 with the College Football Playoff National Championship appearance his first year, dropped to 5-7 last year, missing out on the postseason, but this year looks and feels a bit like year one. Team captain and safety Bud Clark talks about getting the season started and the confidence his group is playing with right now.
Honestly, I feel like we've grown significantly. So, honestly, we have a strong mindset about everything. We've been ready, honestly, since the last game from last year. So we just ready to show our talents off, show our prosecution, everything that we've done, like our work.
Several games last year were lost due to a lack of performance in the red zone. Quarterback Josh Hoover comments on red zone efficiency, making plays and game management, and the eagerness this TCU football team has.
Yeah, I think just being able to run the ball well. Anytime you can run the ball in the red zone, it makes things a lot easier. And so our offensive line is doing so much better than we have in the past, and they're really good up front right now. And so I think running the ball in the red zone is going to help us, and then being able to throw the ball off of that and then just allow those two things to kind of work with each other is going to help our efficiency in the red zone. So we won't have to necessarily do things out of the ordinary to score points. And so just running our offense when we get down there and executing our plays we do every single day is going to help us be more efficient down there by the end zone. Yeah, it feels like the last 2 weeks have been the longest 2 weeks of my life since we in fall camp, and I think we're just itching to go play somebody, and I know I am. I know that's how our team feels. We have a really competitive team, and since we played OU, that's all we've been thinking about is playing Stanford. So we're excited, and I feel that same eagerness on our team, and I think everybody's just really excited to play and to play someone else. And we're just excited to kind of test our skills and test ourselves. We know what we can do, on the practice field and in fall camp, but until you go play somebody else, you don't really know. And so we're excited about testing that. We know what we can do, but just proving it to everybody else. I just run the offense. Don't overthink it. Do what I do, play my game, and then just run the offense and make it easier for Coach Browse to call plays. When it's 1st and 10 and the shot's not there, check it down, and 2nd and 5. It's easy to call plays in 2nd and 5. 2nd and 10 makes it tougher. So I think just running the offense, the way Coach Browse designs the offense is to help us be successful. And so just running the offense the way it's supposed to be run. And if I do that, we're going to be just fine, and just get the ball to the playmakers, and we'll be just fine. So just make the plays that I normally make, and obviously, don't be timid. Just rip it when I see it, and then check it down when needed.
Season 3 of State of the Frogs with Sonny Dykes premiered last Tuesday, and Dykes talked about his quarterback and the progression he has made.
Josh is doing what great quarterbacks do. He's making good decisions with the ball. I think he believes in his supporting cast. I think he understands that he doesn't have to go out there and play like Brett Favre and play reckless football. Mm-hmm. I think he understands, look, if I take care of the ball and make good decisions and get the ball to these guys that can make plays, then that's what's going to allow us to move the football and move it consistently. And if we can limit our turnovers and our negative plays, then I think this offense has a chance to be very, very good. Last year a big part of the issues we had were self-inflicted issues, and I think we've grown past having those. But as I said, we'll get a great test on Friday.
Coach Dykes compares the leadership on his team and how impressed he is with how competitive the training camp has been in the spring and fall camp.
Yeah, it's always interesting. We're football teams are really always as good as their leadership allows them to be, and I think that's, you go back and look at the 22 team, and I think that was one of the things that we had. We had a lot of experienced guys, the guys that have been through a lot of battles, had an edge to them, and we're very, very invested in our program. And I think this year's football team reminds me of that. We have a lot of experienced guys that have played a lot of football. Some of them at TCU, but some of them at other places when we're talking about transfers. And the guys that are just, they have a confidence about them. They have a determination about them. I think that they, understand what it takes to be successul. And just like the leadership of this group, I think this team, if you ask me to describe it in one word, I'd say mature. And I think that typically is a good thing.
Nice. I know you get asked this question a lot, Coach, but is it possible to compare, and you kind of did it there a little bit, but last year's team to this year's team, is it a difference in leadership and some of the team principles? Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out. But I think for us, the 23 team, as coaches, I'm always responsible for that, to develop that leadership and to bring those guys along. It's not something that just happens. And if you don't have it naturally, then you have to make sure it occurs. And did a poor job doing that last year, spent a lot of time in the offseason, nourishing that part of our team and doing everything that we could do to encourage that growth, especially in that area, and love the results so far. We're just getting started. It's a long season. We got 12 very difficult ball games ahead of us, and we'll see how that we respond to adversity when it hits. But I love the makeup of this team and so far, and we'll see how it goes.
Any big surprises from fall camp?
I don't think so. I think just the competition is what's been inspiring to me. I think that the good thing about this team is if you miss a day or two of practice, someone's going to have your spot. And I think that's what makes this group way different than in the past is, guys were kind of assured of starting jobs and didn't really necessarily get pushed by some other guys. Well, now we've got enough depth on this football team and enough talent that, you miss a day or two of practice, someone's going to have your job, and it's going to be hard to get it back because they're going to go in and perform at a high level. So love that competitive aspect of the group. Love the fact that it was back and forth during fall camp. The offense would have a good day, the defense would have a good day, and it even went within practice to practice. I mean, we might have a good part offensively early in practice, and we might have a good part defensively in practice. And so you like to see that competition and both sides of the ball have success, and that usually means you have a good team. So it was fun to see.
Now on to Stanford. What should we expect out of the Stanford Cardinals tonight?
Stanford is a typical Stanford team. It's going to be a physical football team, a team that's well coached. Troy Taylor's going into his second year. They'll make a huge jump from year one to year two. Very talented team. Again, you look at the recruiting rankings. These are a lot of elite level players that got recruited by pretty much everybody across the country. So really talented team, a team that's going to play a disciplined brand of football. They've got really good coaches. The defensive coordinator's got a pretty significant NFL background. I'm sure they'll make a big jump from year one to year two in terms of additional scheme and being able to build on the base that they established last year. So it'll be a lot different than probably what we've seen on film. Got a great playmaker at wide receiver, kid that basically took over that Colorado game in the second half and willed them to a comeback against Colorado last year. A linebacker on defense that's big and physical and make a lot of plays, and some quarterbacks that really know how to handle the offense and run it. So it's going to be a good football team, a much improved team, and again, a Stanford team that's built on, lining up and playing a physical brand of football.
Any history with Troy Taylor?
Yeah, I know Troy well. He was at Folsom High School, and we recruited one of his quarterbacks when I was there, and he played quarterback at Cal, so he was a guy that I got to know pretty well when I was out in the Bay Area, and I've had a lot of respect for him, and he did a tremendous job at Sacramento State and getting that program going, and he'll do the same thing at Cal.
Your days at Cal, you probably played in Palos Altos, so tough place to play?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a different setting. It really is, especially on a Friday night. It'll be a little bit different, but it's a cool stadium. They've done a good job there. They have a great tradition. I mean, you look at the teams they've had over the last 2 decades. I mean, it's been a very, very, very good football program for a long time. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh came in there and did some great things with it, and then David Shaw took over and never missed a beat. So, they've won there for a long time. They know how to win. They expect to win, and it'll be a big challenge for us.
And coming from this hellacious hot box, playing out there, and it's probably what seems to be some really nice weather. How does that affect the game, do you think, or the players?
Yeah. Palo Alto will be nice and cool. It'll be probably about 75 degrees at kickoff, and get down to probably the high 50s when it's done. And so, I think it'll be a nice change of pace for our players for sure.
Good luck, Carter boys. Game time is set for 7:30 Pacific time, 9:30 here in Fort Worth. Frogs Today is on location in Northern California, so follow us at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com for pre- and post-game sound for updates throughout the game. Just north of Palo Alto, down Pacific Coastline, our women's golf team, led by Angie Rivoli Larkin, in her 31st season, is currently competing at the Pebble Beach golf links in the prestigious Carmel Cup. The Frogs are one of 8 teams in the event.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's a dream come true. It's one of the most historic places in the nation. I know that Tiger Woods was there. They hold the U.S. Open, U.S. Women's Open there. I'm pretty excited. I know my teammates are pretty stoked too about it.
I played it with my previous school 2 years ago. And I told Coach I've been there before with my family too. That place is truly life-changing. It gave me a whole new perspective on life, which sounds crazy, but it doesn't even feel like you're in a real place. The golf, we want to do great, but we're just happy to be there and the opportunity we're given.
I think we had some really good scores in our qualifier. So as a team, I'm feeling pretty confident. But anything could happen. But at the end of the day, I think we're just going to be really grateful to be there and just to have the chance to be playing Pebble Beach. What an opportunity. And just having fun while we're there and try to play our best.
It's really cool. I'm very happy to be able to play this tournament at Pebble Beach.
The event runs through Sunday, and what do we expect to see out of this year's team starting off at Pebble Beach?
I'm really happy. We had a great qualifying. Everybody's competing strong, really living up to our core values of compassion, dedicated, bold, and lots of grit.
Qualifying this year was elite. I've never seen anything like it at OU my first years or last year. It was the closest, most competitive qualifier I've ever seen. So I'm really excited to see what this team can do.
It's actually great to start such a strong event right off the bat. I think it'll be a great test for us, and I think every team there is capable of winning.
Returners Megan Winans and Kristen Augusta visited with us during qualifying about the team, expectations, and much more.
Everyone's gelling great. I think that's another thing Coach does well is she recruits just good girls, good people. It's definitely different without our senior from last year, Lois Lau, senior, not a fifth year. But I'm kind of trying to take over that leadership role, and it's definitely been different, but it's been really good. The freshmen are killing it. Sophomores and juniors now, awesome as always. So gelling well, and it's going to be a good year.
I think what's really great is that Coach really focuses on the mental process and acting as a professional person, even if we're in college. She teaches us how to be positive, to be confident. She builds those skills for us, and I think that's super important being in a professional career later on. And I think she also loves us as a person and doesn't treat us like just robots or anything. She really treats us well. She has respect, and I really just enjoy what she teaches us, and she sticks with what she teaches us as well. She inspires us by being 1% better every day as well, and that really inspires me, and I know all these girls as well.
Yeah, I mean, the consistency is next level, which is something I think I really needed and now thrive from. So, I mean, we're in such a routine of our practices, workouts, uniforms, everything. So, you know, Coach Larkin does a great job of staying on top of that, staying true to her word, and it helps us all out tremendously. I mean, we have a lot of fun when we're together, and that's what it's all about, is enjoying what we're doing and why we're doing it. So, I mean, we're going to be having fun at dinners. We're going to be excited for the football. We're going to be competitive out there, you know, laughing, smiling, and just kicking butt.
Augusta, a sophomore from Capel High School, started all 6 spring tournaments last season, tying senior Lois Lau for the team lead in the spring with 55 birdies, with the 3rd best scoring average on the team as a freshman. While senior Winans, who spent her first 2 seasons at Oklahoma, coming to TCU last year, one of 3 Horned Frogs to start all 10 tournaments, leading the team in pars with 348. She was TCU's top aggregate 36-hole scorer at the Big 12 championship last year. What's special about the TCU golf program, and what does it mean for them to be a part of this consistent program?
Our team chemistry is stronger than ever. I think we have one of the strongest team bonds out of any team in this country. I just feel like because we respect each other outside of golf as well, and truly because out of golf we really want the best for each other, and I think that's what makes us a great team. And no matter where we're from, I know there's a lot of us out of the country too, and bringing their own cultures here, but I feel like we just respect each other so well that it really just brings us together as a family.
Coach Larkin talks about that consistency as well.
I don't know the secret. I don't know that we have any magic secret. If I have it, I'm not going to share it on national television. But I just think we have such a strong culture and tradition of culture within our team, with our and program, quite frankly, just our mission statement, TCU Women's Golf, a mindset of growth and gratitude, empowering women to play with fire, act with class, and uphold character. If anything, that's the secret, and that's our foundation.
Added to the team this year are French international Camille Mingaltier and Gracie McGovern from Scottsdale, Arizona. She was the world #9 junior amateur golfer in 2023. Mingaltier from France, who qualified for the 2024 World Amateur Championship, achieving a career-high World Junior Amateur Golf ranking of 82. Both freshmen, by the way. We got a chance to watch them prepare for this event and find out why they came to TCU and what they look forward to in this event, the team, and the upcoming season.
I chose TCU because the team is incredible and the coaches too. And I really wanted to have a team as a family, like here.
Well, when I was deciding which college to pick to go for like my next 4 years, I wanted a college with a team that would really push me and like just for me to strive to be my best self. And I feel like TCU, not only like the coach, but also my teammates, we all strive to push each other. And also just a school that has like good education and that it's also Christian. So coming from a smaller Christian high school, I wanted something similar to that, and I feel like I really found a special place.
I really like to spend time with the team, and so I don't know, I think we are very kind to each other.
We're definitely all going to depend on each other and just try to support each other, stay positive. Doesn't matter what's going on, like even if you shot 8 over, 8 under, we're still going to treat each other the same and just be glad we're there.
I think we have to follow the process and we will see what's going to happen.
I feel like I've gotten to know everyone from my team a little differently, whether it's like car rides to the course or like playing with them during our rounds. But I feel like our team advancement, which is like our team bonding, I felt like that was really fun because you kind of got to see everyone's like personalities when like under pressure and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool.
Frogs Today is there to bring it all to you, so head out to Stanford Stadium and then Saturday and Sunday to Pebble Beach. Coach Larkin wants you there.
We play Friday morning. Our tee time is 7 a.m. at Pebble Beach. Saturday will be first off at Pebble again around 6:30 a.m. So we'll be finished by 10:30, 11, and you can go play yourself. Really excited for this first event being the Carmel Cup. Such a prestigious event. We have SEC teams, Big 12 teams. Nice little start to the season with the showdown between the two conferences, and we're just so grateful and blessed that we're in a position to be invited to such a strong event starting our season. So come out and watch us. Your chance to see Pebble Beach and see your frogs. Admission, there's no charge, so this is your time to see it all. Wear your purple and let's go.
We got soccer, volleyball, triathlon, and cross country after this timeout. We will be right back.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
We are back at the Roxo Media House studio. I'm Cramer of TCU Baseball. Let's start with women's soccer. The 13th ranked Horned Frogs improved to 3-1 on the season with another win over Central Michigan last night. Frogs Today reporter Ray Cartwright was there to give us some sound.
Good bounce back win for us, right? And good mentality and the way that we approached the game and a good start. And, really proud of the group for coming back and having a really good performance and scoring some goals, play some great soccer, and getting Bello on the board early on, I think set the tone for us, and it was a good professional performance by us. Yeah, I think that they wanted to get on the right side of the W's, right? And so I think we were pretty intent on trying to get a W and play the game the right way and play TCU soccer. I think we learned some lessons last year, right? As far as every college soccer game is important. It doesn't matter who you play because it has implications in all kinds of different ways, and so we have to respect our opponent and come out here and try to win every single game. And so that was the message, and I think that they received it and did the business.
Next up for the Horned Frogs, they go back on the road, headed east to Dallas to take on SMU Sunday with a nightcap 8:30 p.m. kickoff. Head coach Eric Bell talks about that rivalry.
Yeah, obviously it's a big rivalry, and it's always close no matter what the records are going to the game. And it's a big one, right? For RPI implications as well as bragging rights, which are probably more important. We want to win the game. We want to go over there to Dallas and win the game. And so, we'll prepare like we always do, but it's got huge implications. And, obviously we want to have a nice run into postseason, and this game is going to be a determining factor of how well we are, seeded, if not seeded or not seeded. And so we got to win the game.
Now in volleyball, as they start their season this afternoon against Oklahoma in the Emeritus Players Challenge in Lincoln, Nebraska, they serve it up at 4:30 p.m. and tomorrow they get a shot at the number 2 team in the country, Nebraska. Game time is set for 7:30 p.m. From day one of training camp, head coach Jason Williams has talked about beating Oklahoma, and players Sarah Sylvester, Jalen Gibson, and Melanie Parra comment on the readiness of this team.
I think we are ready for OU. I think we're in a good place. We still got some things to work on, but it's early, and we have enough experience, so I'm looking forward to the first match.
Definitely, I think we're super ready. There's a lot of small things we've been working on, and they're starting to kind of get into play, and we're starting to feel them out, get a lot more comfortable with new skills that we're learning, and just new shots that we've been working on in the gym. So I think it's all kind of starting to amount to the big picture and what we're looking for. And we're talking about not peaking early, but I think we're definitely on that road to peaking at the right time. So it's just small steps along the way.
Sí, estamos listas. Sabemos que la temporada va a ser difícil porque hay equipos muy buenos, pero creo que tenemos muy buen equipo igual y vamos a echarle todas las ganas para poder ganar la temporada.
What is the message in the locker room? And with such a big match coming up on Saturday, what is it like staying focused with their season opener against Oklahoma?
I mean, this is our first big game, one that counts on our record. So just realizing that, we want to get our first win, and then after we get our win, we can focus on Nebraska. So
you gotta go one game at a time. You can't overlook any opponent. So we're definitely gonna dial in on the scout for OU and make sure that we know their hitters, know their servers, and their system and how they play. So we're just gonna make sure we're focusing on that this week, while also kind of mixing in some of the Nebraska stuff and getting ready for them. But OU is definitely very they're an opponent that we have to be worried about, and we've played them in the past when they were still in the Big 12, and so we know a little bit about them, but we're definitely still getting ready for them just as much as any other team.
What has this team learned about themselves this preseason? The purple and white scrimmage and the exhibition against SMU.
Definitely, I think a big theme for this preseason has been attention. That's something Jason has brought up a lot, and so I think a lot of our goals, we'll do daily goals on our whiteboard, and a lot of people will be intentional about this or intentional about this type of rep. And so I think just constantly being intentional about everything we do, and making sure when you are intentional in practice, then it becomes that much easier in a game. And so putting that all together and then being able to play consistently and in the flow once we get to a game.
Visualize the other side of the court when we're playing 6-on-6 as OU or Nebraska. We want to beat the other side as much as we can when we play 6-on-6 in practice. So
I think from a wellness and from a mindfulness standpoint, I think we're in a really good place. From the reps and the training, I think we're probably a little behind. Probably need another week or so, but we're game ready. So we'll see how it goes.
I've learned that we have a lot of fun together. It's been fun playing with the girls and new girls, but I also think that we need to have a little more, just maybe accountability, on the finishing part, being able to finish with this team, because there's been times where we've gotten real close, with SMU, and we just weren't able to finish off.
Primero que nada, la actitud en el equipo ha cambiado mucho. Creo que ha mejorado desde enero para acá, ha mejorado mucho la actitud de todas las compañeras. Nos hemos estado enfocando mucho en ese aspecto porque cuando las cosas van bien estamos todas muy felices, hacemos muchos puntos, pero cuando las cosas van mal todas nos bajamos y nos sentimos presionadas, entonces hemos estado trabajando en eso y creo que ese es el aspecto más importante que tenemos que trabajar y seguimos trabajando.
There's a realization that we're definitely capable of doing what we accomplishing our goals this year, and so there's glimmers and great moments of really how capable we are and how great of a team we can be, and so just learning each other, learning how we want to be led as a team and learning what works and what doesn't, and pulling that all together to have a lot of those great moments over and over and over again, just becoming a very consistent team.
We've gotten so close and we're just almost there, so getting everybody in that mindset to having to finish is just so important on this team.
Williams expects a lot out of his team to get to a third straight NCAA tournament and a Big 12 championship. What exactly is expected out of his team to do that?
It's the serve and pass. They're loaded with hitters and athletes, and if we're not serving well and putting pressure on them, they're gonna side out really easy. And if we're not passing well, then their physicality is gonna give us a lot of trouble. So I think we have a little more experience. I think we've got, a little more overall experience, kind of like tournament ready, and they're kind of still in a rebuild, but they're definitely one I'm worried about because they have a nice roster for sure. Super excited. I mean, this is a great roster. The girls are amazing. We're having a lot of fun in practice, and I'm excited to get out there. And again, we have a couple of new faces, so we'll challenge them, right, and see how they do with adversity. But I wouldn't want to go to battle with any other team. Excited that we still have Melanie Parra one more year, right? Just a phenomenal volleyball player, and we even said it today at the end of practice. Like, she just makes touches that are so elite that just people around her just are better, And Jalen Gibson's, like coming into her own and just being a junior this year. Like, I have some big expectations of her, and then I'm super excited about Becca. It's kind of be her first full season, so she's like a freshman, but she's an elite attacker, and excited to see her compete. And then all the things that I'm concerned about are getting better, like every day. So I think by the time we get in the meat of the season, we'll be rolling. But we gotta do some good things if we want to win in non-con.
Mexican international Parra was selected as the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year. What does she want to get out of her senior season, and what's next for the TCU volleyball superstar?
Pues creo que mi manera de ser líder es más que nada dentro de la cancha, porque siento como que todo el equipo siente mi apoyo, siente que yo los puedo respaldar dentro de la cancha. Entonces creo que siendo senior sigue siendo un poco igual a como era el año pasado, pero siento un poquito más de que el equipo en mi espalda, porque como es mi último año, tengo que dar un buen papel o tengo que dejarles algo al equipo o a las jugadoras que van a entrar. Entonces creo que sí siento un poquito más de presión, pero igual tengo que echarle las ganas y saber lo que hago. Pues sí, porque el año pasado quedé en tercer equipo de All American. Entonces estoy queriendo llegar a ser del primero o del segundo equipo si se puede. Igual ganar la conferencia sería algo genial para todo el equipo y tanto para mí personalmente. Entonces creo que esos dos aspectos son los que les voy como que tirando un poquito.
Good luck to our TCU volleyball team this afternoon and tomorrow. On the other side of this break, we will bring you triathlon and cross country. We'll be right back.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
Welcome back, Dog Nation. Fall sports continue this Saturday with triathlon on the road in South Dakota and cross country hosting the John McKenzie Invitational in Fort Worth. Triathlon, in its second season, finished 6th at national last year and looks for more success this season. Head coach Jenny Garrison gave us some insight on building this program. Have they met expectations coming out of the preseason? And what do we expect to see out of this team tomorrow at the Southern Hills Triathlon race?
Honestly, it's been fantastic. These girls, the chemistry's been really good. The culture that the new girls we brought, you never know when you bring new people in how it's going to be. You, as a recruiter, you try your best to feel it out, eat with them, see what it's like. But I'm blown away at the new kids we brought in just purely by their attitude, their work ethic, their ability to cheer each other up is Honestly, I'm so excited. It's just been fantastic. Well, we're still a work in progress. I feel like we have a lot of building to do and learning as coaches, as athletes. I think it's a constantly learning, evolving process. Every year, I feel like we're going to keep building and getting stronger and better and learning from things that, are just little mountains to climb. And I feel like we had a great year last year. Our nationals last year, I feel like we would have gotten third if Amanda didn't crash. So I feel like it was a great year last year. We had a strong season. Excited to see we have a lot of really strong girls right now. So it'll be interesting having 14 and only being able to race 7 at nationals. But we definitely have a lot of kids to choose from. And again, with girls who have a lot of room to grow. I'm excited. I'm excited to see them go out, have fun, and race each other and see other girls and see where they stack up. So this Saturday is interesting. It's a super sprint, so it's half of our regular distance. We're only bringing 8 girls, and it's just kind of not a random, but it's definitely a choosing because we have 14. 14 would be too hard to fly with and travel. So we're only bringing 6 to 8 to races, depending on the race. So this race, we definitely chose girls that needed to start with a shorter distance. Depending on the kids, some of our top girls are not racing this weekend. Some of the mid ones, it's just kind of a breakdown. We have a lot of girls who are very similar to each other. And then we had a few girls race this past weekend. We have 6 racing 2 weeks after. So we're really spread out. But the reason is that with 14, I feel it's important to give everybody a chance to race at least 3 times this fall if they're not going to nationals. Some teams don't do that, but I feel like for them to grow as athletes in the future, they have to get actual race experience. So we're spreading that out this year, which most teams don't do, and we're going to try it out. Just so they all feel like they all have a role in the team. Because they do. Every one of them has a different role.
Junior Kennedy Calcagno was the first TCU triathlon athlete signed to start the program 3 years ago. Last year was the first year the program competed as a varsity sponsored sport for TCU. Calcagno talked about why she chose TCU.
So originally I was really intrigued by the school and the academics, but at first they didn't have a triathlon program, so that wasn't really in the cards for me. And then when I heard Kurt and Jenny were coming, that was the deal breaker for me. Once I heard they were coming, I knew immediately I was going there. Like, I had to be with them. Kurt was actually my club triathlon coach, so I knew that from his background he was really strong as a coach, and so I knew that Kurt and Jenny would be able to build a program here, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
The program has doubled in size from last year, and freshman Marley Indelman from Chicago talked about her choice to join this program.
The team culture is incredible. I came on my recruiting visit, and I feel like I knew just walking in to the campus and the facilities. It was amazing, and Jenny's amazing, Kurt's amazing, and just being able to see the team and see everyone and how the dynamic is in general. I knew it was the place for me.
What is the typical day for a triathlon athlete at TCU? Calcagno gives us an idea of what that routine looks like.
So a typical week for us looks like Monday through Friday, we're swimming in the mornings, and then we're either alternating bike runs, so usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday run, Tuesday, Thursday bike, and then our Sunday practice is either a long bike ride or a brick workout, which is bike and run, something similar to this. And then I think as we get closer to race season, we're going to start throwing in some open water swims on the weekends as well. And then we also have 2 lifts a week in there, so they keep us really busy with that in school, but I wouldn't change it.
Calcagno and Andelman are excited about the growth of this program and also what has preseason been like going into their opening race tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like it's looking really good for us. We all got here a week early to just train before school started, get acclimated to the heat, meet the new girls. We have 6 new people on the team this year, which is crazy as we're a team of 14. So it's been awesome to really grow the team. We almost doubled in size. So it's been awesome to meet all the new girls and kind of have that time before school started to get to know everyone and get close with each other. And I think we're just going to keep building off of that as we go into the race season. So I'm really looking forward to the first race.
The preseason has been really exciting. I think it's just a really cool environment to be in. The team last year was significantly smaller. We brought in 6 new girls this year, so just to kind of navigate having a team of 14, which is a lot bigger than last year, has been really cool to see, and just having all these different personalities and strengths come together and create this team environment has been really, really fun to see.
Stay tuned for more triathlon news in the coming weeks. Now to cross-country news. Track and field and cross-country director Candivis Robinson team kicks off this season tomorrow as well. Frogs Today found Robinson hard at work early in the morning in the weight room talking about the growth in the cross-country program.
Yeah, cross country is the ultimate team sport. So at the end of the day, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So it is a team sport, but it has an individual component to it. Last couple of years, we've been really lucky and blessed to have, Gracie Morris, who did extremely well for us and made the national championship in cross country 2 years straight, which I can't remember the last time TCU's had that. But she's graduated and she's finished and she's going on, and I think she'll have a pretty good pro career. So now we're looking for somebody else on the women's side to step up. We have a very young team on the women's side, so we'll see how they step up and do that. On men's side, we returned Gracie's twin brother, Graydon Morris. He had a pretty good year last year, but I think this year will be the year he steps out. We had a good recruiting class, but you know how it is with freshmen moving up to the 10K distance can be a challenge. But I think those guys are ready, and we returned some guys that are pretty solid. So we're really excited about what we have going on. And the biggest thing is we have some really good student athletes. We have a family atmosphere, man. These guys, the entire team, love showing up every day, love being part of a family, love being part of a team. And that's what I really wanted when I got here. I wanted to be part of something that people enjoyed to be a part of, and something they will remember for the rest of their life, not just the performances and competing, but being a part of the TCU Horned Frogs family. That's just cross country 101, to get the kids to run as a pack, especially when they're young. Obviously, if you have somebody that's an outlier that's really, really good, that can be far out in the head, then sometimes you want to let them kind of let their reins go a little bit. But for the most part, with the team we have, as young as they are, and not as experienced, I think if they can run as a pack, we'll be pleased. But like I said, we have some individuals on both the men and women's side that we're praying and hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that they will have a breakout season, because they're very capable of doing just that.
His athletes never get a break, as they are always preparing for the next meet.
I mean, it's exciting. I mean, we're steadily trying to build our cross-country team. Our women last year did extremely well. It was one of the best performances we've had at a conference championship and a regional championship in a long time. And then far as we had people qualify for nationals last 2 years. And so this year we're excited. We think that both teams should be solid. The men's team should be pretty solid. We got some returners, and but yeah, that's track and field and cross country. It's year round for the most part, so you just kind of get used to it.
As the track and field and cross country programs trend in the right direction, how do you continue to grow and keep the standards the same across all your student athletes?
Yeah, it's like herding cats, right? Like it could be a challenge, but like you said, I have a really great staff. Great support with Jeremiah and Kim Johnson and those individuals who, we're getting a new track coming in. We have great support staff with our GAs and individuals like that. So I think you get everything. You put all the pieces together. It's like the book From Good to Great, right? You get the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and the right people in the right seats. And essentially that's what you have to do. But these things take time, right? And so we're excited. Our recruiting class on both the men and women's side was really good. But, just like with anything else, when they're freshmen and they're young, you never know what you got until you really get in the competitive field. But we really had a really good recruiting class on both the men and women's side, and really good student athletes that can perform well in the classroom and on the field. But good people, good parents, that's really parental involvement. So you get all those things, you put them together, and you set a goal, and you have a common vision, not only with just myself as the head coach, but with the athletic department, with the student athletes themselves, the coaching staff, and the team, and then everybody gets on the same page and go after that goal.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We're locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Good luck to all our teams. Stay connected with all of TCU Athletics right here at Frogs Today. We really enjoyed hosting this week's episode of Frogs Today. I'm Trey Newmann.
Yes, and remember, follow us at Frogs Today for on-location coverage of football and women's golf from California. For everyone here at Roxo Media House and Frogs Today, and for TCU Baseball, I'm Cramer. This has been Frogs Today for Friday, August 30th. Thanks for watching.
Go Frogs!
Roxo Media House.